Okay, Commanders, the Elite Dangerous Odyssey gameplay trailer has just dropped, so let's have a look through. So we're seeing an Alliance ship coming down through the atmosphere. We can see a layer of haze there, obviously it's a thin atmosphere. The planetary tech looks okay, but it doesn't look dramatically different to Horizons to me from this perspective. We don't see the approach and glide, which I think is a bit of a shame. There are some new features here, auto dock, which sounds like it will enable us to land on the ground as well. Interesting here that they did have docking permission to land at the pad, but they decided to land rough, which, if I was in charge of this base, I would regard as a bit suspicious. I don't know about you guys, but that's my kind of initial reaction there. Again, look, we can see the landscape. The sun looks good. I'm not a fan of being able to see stars in the sky. That's completely unrealistic for this kind of planet, but we'll let them off that for atmospheric kind of feel, more than scientific accuracy. We can see some skimmers flying about. This, according to the HUD here, the gravity is about half a G, but the walking around doesn't look like half a G to me. That's only a little bit more than Mars. So, not convinced. Maybe they haven't put the gravity effects into the game at the moment. So then they start sneaking around the base. The other ship takes off. Again, I think if I was in charge of a base and a ship dropped some guys off and they started wandering around, I'd be a bit suspicious of them. The crew on the ground here in charge of the base don't seem to be reacting. Now, we've been told they will scan the player, and if the player is clean, then the impression is they're not going to take any further notice of you. So that seems a bit unusual in terms of trying to prevent your base getting taken over. This looks very gamey. That looks exactly like No Man's Sky to me, but picking up the health packs there, so that's okay, I suppose. There's the NPC guards just not treating the player's activity, sneaking around here, presumably without some sort of permission. I mean, maybe if they were walking more casually, then maybe you'd ignore them, but...
Okay, let's go for it.
The bases look quite good. I'm told these are going to be procedurally generated, which hopefully won't get too samey. The assets look a little bit repeatable. There's the usual barrels, which presumably are filled with high explosive because they are. So that's let's wait and see what that looks like. Now the building there is the power building, that's the target. Now they've got to get inside there. Again, all this sneaking around to me looks incredibly suspicious behaviour for people, and there doesn't seem to be any cameras. Now that's the sort of thing I would expect a base to have. Is like there's two guys outside the door now, acting a little bit suspiciously, and the kind of somebody ought to be monitoring a camera. I mean, we do that in the 21st century, let alone the 34th. Again, here's another look at the planetary tech, and it's not as exciting as I was hoped it would be. It doesn't look that different from Odyssey yet.
Yeah, looks like we're clear. Let's get in and out pretty quick. Alright.
Now I quite like this way of accessing the panel here. It looks like each player gets different types of tool for doing different types of job, which kind of makes sense. The only question I have at this point is, the one guy's over there is obviously ready for combat, and the other guy's ready kind of for infiltration. So how does this work if you're a single player? Because you can't possibly carry all the tools you need to do this, because if you're set up for infiltrating, you're at a disadvantage for pew pew, I would guess. So that's going to be interesting for those of us who don't always play multiplayer. Nice casual murdering of people here. Hopefully there's some opportunity to not just murder people, maybe kind of tell them to run out, maybe, I don't know, or stun setting on the gun. And you can see in the HUD there you get more for trespassing. I think 800 credits than you do for murdering people, so their whole life is cheap in the Elite Dangerous universe is definitely kept up to date. At least that's law consistent, you can't argue with that.
Applying E-breach now. E-breach applied. Almost in. Keep an eye out for me.
Alright.
And again, there you've got break into the reactor, which all looks quite good fun.
I'm getting ready to disengage the regulator, so the alarm's going to go
question
off.
Again, how do you do this as a single player? Because you can't guard the entrance and infiltrate the base at the same time, so you're going to be unable to do that. Just certain missions that are going to be designed for multiplayer and difficult to tell. Like that sound as the sirens go off, that sounds good. If I was in charge of this base, I would now override the system maybe and lock the doors.
We have 3 guards.
The guys are stuck inside.
Closing in on us now.
So here we see a little bit of the AI
You'll have to take most
going
of the
on.
shots as well, because my suit's not designed for it.
Switch back again. So we can see the weapons fire, and the AI is standing out in the clear, which doesn't sound to
And
me
we can
like a
use the
great
elevator
idea.
cover if you need to.
They should be kind of hiding around the corners. I mean,
Cersei, how
I'm
long
not,
are we
again,
looking for
not a
this
great
regulator?
FPS player, but
Okay,
that's something
regulator
I
is
would
about
do.
40% done.
If I could, the AI now knows the location of the players, so why aren't they being a little bit smarter in the reaction?
Reactor shutdown in 30 seconds.
You can see the
We
enemy
are
players,
three-quarters of the way
sorry, the
done.
enemy
Let's
NPCs
get
here
those
with their
engines warmed up
shields
as well.
up.
Yeah,
Now
I'm on
that's
standby, ready when you
interesting
are.
that you can see the
Okay,
shields.
we're gonna have to be quick to make a move because
There's an outline.
they're really
almost like
lining
night
up
vision
outside now. I'm
around
gonna
the
make my way
player,
back
rather
in.
than kind of like the way that ships work with the kind of curved,
Okay, they've got me backed into the power room now.
occasionally visible contours
Okay, core is venting.
that you normally see. So that's a different style of
Reactor
choice.
shutdown complete.
Doesn't give away in the
should be
dark,
extending
interestingly
now.
enough.
How
So
much
that
longer do
may
you
be a
need?
disadvantage.
I'd say another
if you're trying to
5
sneak
seconds.
around.
I'm starting my approach.
Back to the ship.
Okay, I'm trying to stop them from coming in.
Briefly. Oh, okay, they're getting
Regulator's
caught now,
exposed.
so everything's in
taking it
darkness. So
now.
there's a bit of atmospheric
Right,
stuff
got it.
here. Not sure why like that. Objects disappears
Okay, let's
instead of
break
getting
for it.
picked up, but maybe that's just alpha
As you
stuff.
can, we're not going
But
to
no,
last
what's
as long
interesting here is they're
I need
surrounded
you
by
to
what looks
get
like
that
about
ship in.
10
Already on right.
NPCs, and
Alright,
they're just
keep
able to
running.
run out. So they're either really high
Okay, we're
spec
about
on
to
their
exit on the west.
equipment.
We're going to have to stay in this gap until the ship's in.
there's maybe again it's
Coming
just
low and
contrived
fast.
for the scene.
What are you picking
Okay,
us up?
here's the ship coming down, presumably.
Yeah,
to
west side,
clearly.
west side.
Alright, we're gonna need you soon, pilot.
Different
Really
weapons
closing
being
in on us.
Yeah.
displayed. That looks like
You should
quite
see me coming
a
on the
big
ridgeline
angle
now.
there. I think there's a
they are
grenade that
coming
gets
hard
chucked
and
here
fast
at
here.
the players by the NPC.
Coming in
Those
now.
NPCs are just standing
Commencing
all
cover
over
and
the
fire.
place. They're not seeking any cover. The animations there aren't too bad. They do little ducks and rolls and stuff, but they're being pretty
Grenade.
dumb at the moment. Right, so there's a recharge. There's the grenade, and then something else is firing.
We're
So
getting
that's
shot
one
at
of
by
the
the Goliath now.
Goliath
Alright, turn and run. Let's go.
sentries, which should be able to take out a human within
Right, run.
a couple of rounds, really.
Just
But
a few
they
more
seem to
moments.
have. They're either
Goliath
have
right
like
in front of me.
open
It's shooting at
power
me.
because it's a dead
Try and use the ship for cover.
Okay.
build.
Alright,
But
keep
that
running, I'll try and
really
cover us.
doesn't seem all that realistic with a flying thing of that size.
You can make it,
Couldn't
you can make
take out
it.
a human
Keep
being
running.
and cut the hit, but maybe that's
So
just
close.
a bit more fun. Using the ship for cover, that's quite good.
Okay, I'm under the ship. I'm almost on.
Looks like the
Regulator in tow.
ship is just going to be standing
Let
in
me know
a
when you're in.
automatic circle.
I'm getting in now. Right, I'm on board, and so is the
And then
regulator.
launch for the
Okay,
stars.
we're on. Let's
So
go.
overall, I mean, it
Straight
looks
up and out. Come on,
okay.
come on, come on.
I don't think it looks terribly exciting.
Should be clear.
Atlantic is alright,
Excellent
the sky
job.
looks nice.
Alright, bring us home.
Very combat focused, but that's know the thing. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. That's my initial reaction to it, and we'll see what else is coming.